What's up, Closer Nation? Welcome to the Hardcore Closer Podcast, and I'm your host, Ryan motherfucking Stewman. I'm on one today, y'all. I'm on one. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to rant, but I'm going to tell a story, and it's going to be a rant, and I'm going to sound like I'm bitching, but at the end, I'm just going to, we're going to stop, and I'm going to give you a good old lesson in life that's going to help you be a better person, if you know what I mean, all right? But before we get into this, listen, you listen to this podcast probably because you're an entrepreneur or you work in sales or some sort of you only get to eat what you kill type of hunter situation in the marketplace, right? You're a commission-only salesperson, or you got a small salary at a corporation, but you're out there hustling for your commissions and your bonuses and all that, or you own the damn joint, right? Either way, that's probably why you're listening to this show. And I appreciate that about you. One of the things that I know about people that listen to shows like this is that they're trying to improve. They're trying to be better. They're trying to get better. They're trying to grow. They're trying to learn. They're trying to get some downloads of wisdom from mentors and teachers through these podcasts. And one of the things I know about growing a company is through sales, right? Like sales is the ultimate growth, right? It's not the measure of how many employees did we hire. It's like, now, how many sales did you do? When they are giving estimates on companies, they don't say, oh, well, you have all these employees, that's the really cool, or you have all these products, that's the really cool. No, they say, what are your sales numbers? Well, how many customers you got? What are your sales numbers? That's what they care about. And so as a entrepreneur, as a salesperson, as someone in a corporation that's driven by those numbers, okay, whatever level you're on, you got to understand the way to increase sales is through getting leads. Right? So if you're gonna increase sales, you have to have more people to sell to. Right now, you can increase sales two ways, right? You can increase the sale amount or the amount of times that you sell to a person, or you can go find new people to sell. Both of them very effective, but if you keep going back and selling to the same old people, then your pool is getting smaller and smaller. Fresh leads are always the best way to go. And the reason why I tell you this is because the easiest way I know to get fresh leads is with a website, online, using social media. And the easiest way to do that is with phonesites.com. So you can go to phonesites.com/closer. You can use my URL, right? Because you get little extra bonuses and shit. But phonesites.com/closer will give you, excuse me for the snort there, it's allergy season in fucking Texas, so just deal with it. And that'll help you build a landing page. First of all, you get these badass business cards. And when you go to talk to a prospect, the lead, and they say, hey, what's your phone number? I'll call you later. Give me your business card. You swipe this business card. It's a one-time business card. You don't give it to them. Looks like a credit card. You swipe it, and all of a sudden your contact information shows up on their phone, and they can save it within a matter of seconds. It sends them right to one of our websites. Easy to set up. Anyway, we'll let you do all this for free. All this shit for free. Just go check it out. phonesites.com/closer. Let's talk about the cost of indecision today. And just to use phone sites as an example, maybe you're listening to this episode and you've heard me pitch phone sites as the sponsor of this show 100 times now. It's probably been 100 times that I've pitched it. And so you've heard this 100 times and you still haven't made a decision. Therefore, you haven't gotten any new leads. Therefore, you haven't gotten any... let me rephrase that. You haven't made a decision. Therefore, you haven't used the technology to get new leads. You're probably still getting new leads. Therefore, you're not getting enough leads because there's never too many. I got leads coming in from every which way possible, okay? But the true cost of indecision is not saving that, 40, 50, $100 a month, whatever it is, the price to have a software like that or the price to have a CRM. The true cost of indecision is not doing it and missing out on all of the business. Now, I want to tell you this because I watch people go through this shit all the time, not with phone sites. I just use that as an example because that's something I was just talking about. And I see people do it with phone sites or Apex or anything that I sell, whether it was a mortgage. When I sold mortgages, a fucking car wash when I sold car washes. Oh, I'll get it waxed next week, right? I don't know what happened to the paint, man. It burned up. It's like, yeah, you park it outside. I told you need fucking wax on it, right? Like, that's the story of people's lives. You go to Discount Tire to get them to rotate your tire. They're like, you need a new tire. You're like, oh, I don't need a new tire. I'm going to be fine. You drive down the street a mile. The damn thing is a blowout. And now all of a sudden you're out tires. You could have just got them all done at the same time there. But that's the cost of indecision for most people because here's what I know about decisions, okay? So let's just take this back a little bit. Here's why people are so indecisive. because decisions come with consequences. Now, consequences are often connotated in the negative sense, but in this connotation, I'm not talking about consequences in the negative. I'm just talking about a decision being an action and a consequence being an equal or greater reaction. Okay? So you have right, decision, consequence. Let me give you a good example. If I am driving down the road and I drop my phone on the floorboard of the car and I reach over to grab the phone and I look up and I run over Jim Bob. Jim Bob is drunk in the middle of the road and I didn't know it, and by the time I picked up my phone, just 2 seconds later, I killed Jim Bob. I didn't make the decision to kill Jim Bob, right? So I'm going to have to talk to the police. The police are going to see that I'm sober. The police are going to see that I don't have a relationship with Jim Bob, that I don't know him. There'll be no reason for me to run him over maliciously. They're going to have firsthand witnesses around saying that we didn't make an exchange beforehand, and I'm going to walk free. Now, let's say Jim Bob owes me $100. All right? I'm driving down the same street. I see Jim Bob, and I run his fucking ass over, right? As no $100 paying ass. Cops show up. What happens? Like, dude owes me $100. I made the decision to run his bitch ass over. Well, you're going to do life in jail for that decision, sir. Okay? So, decisions come with consequences. But let me also tell you about a decision. I made a decision in 2012 that I was going to be a prolific writer. I was going to be such a content machine that no single human could put out as much as I have. No single human could keep up with me. Sure, there would be teams. Sure, there would be ghostwriters for other people, but no single human could do what the fuck I was going to do. I started off just like you, just doing one thing, but I made a decision. The consequence of that decision now is 14 best-selling books, a 9-figure empire, right? Like that, those are the consequences of that decision and sticking to it. But at that same time, back then in 2012, I told people, hey, this is what I'm going to do. You should do it too. And they didn't make the decision. And they're in the same place in 2022, 10 years later, a decade later, that they were in 2012. That's the cost of indecision. That's the cost of sitting around and thinking about it. What do they say? Especially in today's day and age. But yesterday's price ain't today's price. If you filled up your gas tank yesterday, it's just going to cost you more today. It's fucking guaranteed. And by the way, I noticed I drive an F-250. That's like, it was my daily driver. Fuck, it's cheaper to drive my McLaren with 900 horsepower at this point around town with premium gas in it than it is to have a big-ass truck with diesel. Not that I'm like conscious when it comes to gas or whatever, but it is fucking extra. It's like the dumb tax, 81 million dumb motherfuckers voted for Biden, and now we got to pay the tax for it in the gas tanks. I'm just saying, right? And because of that, I noticed today gas here in Texas is $3.15. I know some of y'all in California and New York are like, what is he bitching about, right? Well, it was like $1.75, so $3.15 sounds a little high, but I can deal with $3.15. But diesel is $4.95. Okay? So what the fuck is it $2 more a gallon for diesel for, right? And you think, what the fuck's this got to do with indecision? Well, if you don't get diesel yesterday, that shit's fucking going up a lot faster than gasoline, first of all. Second of all, the conspiracy theory, the Alex Jones and me, here's what I think, everybody. I think they're trying to choke the semi-trucks in the supply chain. They have to, right? They fucking raise the what? Okay, they say, well, food is going to cost more money. And you're like, why did they stop making it? We're like, I get it. The pandemic happened and humans stopped doing shit, but the animals, it's not like my dog was like, hey, is the pandemic over? Can I go outside? Like, that's not fuck. So what the fuck, right? We eat living things that we kill and eat. It's like, what the fuck happened to the food? I don't think it's the food. I think they're choking and bottlenecking the fucking supply chain out with these high-ass diesel prices. And what that means is if I used to take a load for $100,000 as a semi-truck driver, now I got to go take that same load, $100,000. I don't make any money because I burned all my diesel, so now I got to raise it to $120,000. That price has got to get passed on to me and you, the consumer. That's what's really fucking going on here. That's why diesel's more expensive. There's no fucking other reason them to fucking raise the price on our food and shit. So I'm just saying, yesterday's price ain't today's price in today's fucking economy. It ain't. And there's a good fucking reason why. Now, I say that because the cost of indecision is huge. I want to tell you a story. This happens so often, but I'm going to tell you a specific story because it's hilarious. But this shit happens every day, you know? I'll pull it up here. On April 8th, this person hits me up. They say this of 2022 if you watch this in the future. And right now it is April 18th. Okay, so that's 10 days. April 8th, they say, hey, man, this company is telling me that they do this service for you. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's a business service, not anything weird, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, he says, company does this service for you. They charge $15,000 a month. Do you think it's worth it? I said, yeah, I've hired them. They've worked for me for a couple months. Obviously, I think it's worth it, you know? And 8 days later, this guy comes back. So this is 2 days ago. This guy comes back, and he says, well, man, I think it's overpriced, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, dude, that's cool. You know? Then he comes back today. 10 days later, by the way, it's 10 days total, still thinking about this shit. And he's like, man, you know, I just sold my company for $17 million and I'm just kind of kicking it. And like, why you would want to fucking buy this particular service? It's like a growth service for a social media channel. Why you'd want to buy this service when you just sold your company? Fuck, 17 million is fucking beyond me. But listen, motherfuckers, just because you say you sold your fucking company for 17 million doesn't mean that you didn't owe 18 million on that motherfucker to the goddamn bank. You're not fooling me, you motherfuckers. I knew this motherfucker that ran this page called Question a Millionaire. We'll just call it that. And he was always telling everybody how rich he is. That motherfucker ain't never had more than a 6-figure year in his fucking life when I met him, man. I'm just telling you, that's how people fucking are. You know, they tell you, I sold my company for $17 million. Well, you $16,990,099 fucking dollars in debt to everybody that bootstrapped your ass on the way there. So you're telling me you're broke anyway. So tells me he sold his company for $17 million and all this shit. So that's great. You know, congratulations, dude. Hits me up another hour or so later. Man, I just think that it's over. I'm like, bro, listen, man, listen. Like, I'm an asshole. Because I just had all I could fucking take, and this happens a lot, right? So this is like, take this as a fucking warning, okay? Then the dude hits me. So this is, he's not a client. I don't know this motherfucker, okay? I don't know him for shit. I'm just a nice guy, okay? He just kept catching me when I'm on nice guy moods. It's not always the case, right? But he kept catching me in nice guy moods. Yeah, like, you know, 30, 40,000 followers. So, you know, I figure you're probably real. I don't know. I fucking didn't really look into him. But I'm like, all right, maybe this guy is some sort of an influencer. I'll be nice to him, right, and answer some of his questions. But he asked one too fucking many. Really what he did was he asked the same question one too fucking many times, right? Like, I'm a busy person. If I tell you some shit, hey, man, is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. Either fucking do or don't, motherfucker. Do or fucking don't, Yoda. All right? So I tell the guy, hey, man, I don't know what the fuck you want from me. Just like that. I don't know what the fuck you want from me. Either make a decision or don't. But coming back to me and asking me my opinion and then shitting on my opinion and telling me that I'm overpaying for some shit is not going to solve your fucking problem. The difference between you and me is I've been paying these motherfuckers for 2 or 3 months and I'm moving ahead making fucking moves over here and you've been thinking about it for fucking 10 days. I wired them money 10 minutes after I got off the fucking phone with them. We ain't the fucking same. And why the fuck are you sweating fucking $15,000 a month if you just made $17 million, you no money having motherfucker? And I'm the asshole. Right? But here's the problem. Here's the fucking problem. I can't fucking stand indecision and procrastination. I can't fucking stand it. I'm not a motherfucker that does it. You won't fucking find it from me. I pay fast. I work fast. I fuck fast. I eat fast. I drive fast. What the fuck do I want to live life in the goddamn slow lane? Do I look like a fucking grandpa to you? Do I look like a fucking blue hair? Got a fucking walker? No, motherfuckers. The fuck do I want to go slow for? So why the fuck am I going to spend time thinking about some shit? I just paid fucking $7 figures for a fucking speaker to come speak at one of our events. Took me all of 30 fucking seconds to make that decision. Fuck it, let's go. Motherfuckers are contemplating spending $5,505 fucking dollars right now, and I'm gonna make a fucking $1 million decision in a matter of split seconds because A, I believe in my ability to go take action to get whatever the fuck investment that I put out there the fuck back in the first place, and B, let's fucking go. Who's got time to think about this shit? You fucking think yourself out of some shit, so fuck you're gonna do. Who the fuck ever left and thought their way into a sale, or thought their way into an investment, or thought their way into a fucking good deal? Fuck no. You know what happens every time you fucking think your way out of it's human fucking nature? It's psychology. It's proven in a book somewhere by eggheads smarter than me that can articulate it better, but it's fucking out there. Because you know what? That's what motherfuckers do. They think about it until they think themselves out of it. And then a year later, you know what they fucking say? Damn, I really should have jumped on that shit, man. I had a chance. That was the one that got away. Now, you know the one that got away is some motherfucking brain cells you wasted fucking thinking about some shit that you should have just fucking done in the first place. Because there's one thing that I've learned about this beautiful design that God gave us called the human body, right? The beautiful fucking thing about that is the first thought in your mind is always the right one. The rest of them are you rationalizing why the fuck you're not doing that shit that the signal from the fucking universe sent you. Fucking... I don't know what else to fucking tell you outside of that. We're just going to end on that note. So quit fucking overthinking shit. And if you're going to overthink shit, that's fine, right? Because I can't fucking control you. Just leave me the fuck alone about it. Ask me a question once. If I fucking answer, don't ask me the same question again. Rise above.